Hi, this is Darren from EnglishTuition.org. In today's video, we are going to talk about the disciplinary options that are available to us. Now, I grew up from the time when corporal punishment is still a big part of discipline. So, teachers have a lot of authority, and they are allowed to scold and even cane the child. Okay, and then nobody would think that is a big deal, right? We do not make a mountain out of a molehill just because a child got some caning. And in fact, many parents do go ahead and advise the teacher, okay, to cane the child as and when necessary. So I still remember I have when I was in primary school, I have this Chinese teacher who is very strict. And in those days, being a strict teacher means being a good teacher, right? So she will always come to class and carry along with her a cane. Now, it's one of those canes with a plastic handle, a hook plastic handle at the end of it. That was supposed to be the handle where you hold the cane and then you use the cane and, meets out the punishment, right? But there was this very naughty boy in the class. He was always disrupting the class, and he has always been a recalcitrant, and after many warnings, and he still does not change, right? And one day the teacher was so angry with his behavior that she just grabbed the cane and, using the hook at the end of the cane, she just caned the child right across the face, right here. Alright? So what happened was this left a hook mark on the student's face, and that worked, right? And the child, start to tone down a little bit and then try to be a bit more cooperative, right? And these marks, cane marks, are very visible, right? So other teachers, when they see the mark, they were just laughing about it, and they were just saying, you, because they know the boy very well, right? You must have been naughty to make the teacher so angry. Okay, so, and that was it. Okay, now we live in a very different time. Okay, corporal punishment is certainly not allowed in schools, okay, in any shape or form. Alright, no caning is allowed except for the school leaders. So let's talk about the disciplinary options that are available to the school, because all the students have to attend school, right? Because corporal punishment is not allowed, so most schools, or in fact all schools, are reduced to using counseling. Okay, if they find that there's no way that to get the student to improve. Okay, and another option that's available to them is detention, right? You notice that all these forms of so-called punishment, okay, is meant to help the child improve, okay, but there's no form of physical punishment in any form, right? And if there's any severe misbehavior, right, those more serious cases where kids get into fights, or they join gangs and then they would get into bullying incidents, right? And after a few warnings and they still do not listen, then school leaders have the option, right, to conduct public caning. Okay, but public canings are very rare in schools, right? Only for the most extreme behavior that public caning is carried out. So for most students, okay, public caning, caning does not even come into the picture, right? If your child is late to school repeatedly, okay, at most you will just have to attend more detention. And what do they do at during detention? Either they do nothing, or they are asked to work on some worksheets, or they are asked to reflect on their behavior. Okay, and this works reasonably well to a certain extent. And how about disciplinary options at home? Alright, so we have talked about discipline in school, okay, and what about discipline at home? Again, we live in very different times, right? Most parents these days do not resort to physical punishment, okay, caning. In fact, I do not believe that parents have the right anymore, okay, to discipline their kids by using the cane. Okay, and because if anyone is to see any form of injury, okay, then parents risk being accused of child abuse. So, and children know that, right? And they're trying to take advantage of this fact that, you know, some of the naughtier children, they say, no, you cannot hit me, right? You'll be reported for child abuse. Okay, and they kind of get away with misbehaving. Okay, so they can pretty much do whatever they want. So if parents cannot resort to caning, so what can parents do? So most of them resort to nagging, right? So just to be sure, nobody likes to nag, and nobody likes to be nagged at. Okay, however, the reality remains that many kids continue to misbehave. So without the option of using some form of physical punishment, parents are, just like the schools, reduced to using the mouth, right? Nagging. Okay, schools use counseling, parents use nagging. All right, and again, it works to a certain extent. Okay, from my personal opinion is that having somebody nagging at a child is better than nothing, right? And it's a form of blessing, because parents are showing that they care about the child. Okay, now the child may not see it that way, right? But eventually, we are hoping that the child grows up one day and understand, okay, where the parents are coming from. All right. So we have talked about the schools. We have talked about discipline at home. So how about discipline during tuition lessons, right? How about if students come to me, what do I do to discipline them? As tutors, we are even more limited in scope, okay, in the kind of punishment that we can mete out, right? I do have parents giving very strong support and saying that, yeah, you go ahead, you can cane the child if they misbehave, because they know the child, right? They understand the child, and they know the child is going to misbehave, okay? And when they come for lessons, everyone wants something good to come out of the lessons, right? We want the child to be able to sit, listen, okay, and learn, and do the work, and cooperate with the teacher. And hopefully something beneficial comes out, right? So parents are supportive, okay? But I personally do not like, okay, the idea of having to use the cane for me. Now, if parents run the risk of being accused for child abuse, how about the tutor, right? They are even more at risk, right? So I personally just don't think this is the right approach. And in any case, I believe that using the cane works only to a certain extent, right? Like all forms of punishment. If you use threats, and the same threats too many times, after a while, the kids start to adjust and they become used to it. And once they become numb to the cane, then it's not going to be effective anymore, right? So, no canes for me, right? Students can come to me and, you know, I work on the basis of mutual respect. Okay, I believe I've mentioned that in a previous video, right? So if you have not seen that, maybe you can just hop on to some of my other videos, and you know, maybe that can give you some more insights as to my teaching methodology and the type of work that I do, right? I work on the principle of mutual respect. Now, respect, here's when it can get a little bit tricky, because respect has to be earned, right? I do not get a child's respect from day one, okay? So the child has to go through some time with me, work with me, and see that, you know, we are doing the best that we can for the child, and we really care for the child's progress, and hopefully over time we can gain their trust and we can gain their respect. And that is my preferred teaching arrangement, right? So I always think that, you know, it's good to have a healthy relationship with the student and not always have to resort to using the cane all the time, okay? And the best thing is if, you know, some children, when they misbehave, all they need is just more encouragement, all right? And they have some self-esteem issues, or we try to encourage them. And these children are want to learn, right? They genuinely want to come here and learn, right? So for these children, encouragement works, right? But encouragement does not work for all children, because from my experience, some children simply take advantage of your kindness, right? So I think parents should be sensitive to that, right? Is your child taking advantage of your kindness, right? If the teacher is too lenient, okay, and continue to offer encouragement, is the child taking advantage? Okay, and some children can be like that, right? So that's all I have in this video. Okay, whether you agree or disagree with me, feel free to leave comments below. I hope the video offers some interesting information for you. I'll see you around. Bye.